Hello there, folks, and welcome to the stream. Oh, not the stream, just the video. I'm here today. We are going to do a special video showing what I think is technically the last set of maps that we have for the Kickstarter project to wrap everything up. We have got the TowerSphere practice pitch. This map is one that I wanted to throw together for a while. It's just a four-part map that basically introduces the concept of TowerSphere into the greater universe. We certainly already have it in the book series, and I wanted to kind of do it for for our map making purposes as well. So the basic pitch is already done. Like we have something very basic here, but what I wanted to do was put together something that is a little bit more tactical. We're probably going to rename a lot of these, but the whole idea that I had was this is supposed to help people, practice when they're playing TowerSphere. There's a lot of like magic involved and stuff like that, so you can't just have towers out in the woods and a clearing that people are running through. You need to have something a little bit more, with a little bit more pizzazz. So I think what we're going to do is almost make this feel like a Spartan run or like a Tough Mudder or something like that, where you're going to have the basic structure where we have the towers here, but we're going to have like various kind of alterations to the map here and there. So what I had thought of was at least around like one of the maps we were going to have like a little, or excuse me, one of the towers we were going to have like a little like ditch or something like that. So let's try to, we're working on the old style here. I don't know that I want to change this so that we have the new layer style. I should probably do it just because it'll be good for me to do whatever practice, but let's do that. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do the enable custom layers feature. We're going to agree, that's fine. It's probably going to take a little bit. And let's see real quick. We're going to go to an existing map. Let's see. So the Wishing Well map that we had has like a good like hill kind of looking thing. And I feel like that's a good way of kind of identifying one of the things that we could use. We just have to find the darn thing. What is going on there? Oh, dip. So, interestingly enough, this at one point was, you can still see it, we had a tavern that is, I completely forgot, well, that's the basic shape. This was the same map that we used for our 4-map tavern set. Anyway, all right, so we've got the object layer, we've got the foreground. Let's do, I've got the layer mask here. Let's try and see if we can subtract from the layer mask. Yeah, so we can still do the same thing. Let's move that roughness up a little bit. And let's see. Oh, I ended up making it way uglier. All right, so we do need to smooth it. Okay. All right, so the background, we're just going to do something like that. But I certainly need to make it look like it's a background and not a foreground, because right now the shadows end up screwing everything up. So let's see, we've got this. See, there's the one thing that I don't get. Oh, there we go. So the mask options, we need to change the effects. Let's go back into it one more time. Inner shadows is fine. Outer shadows we shouldn't have. Nope. That's actually the opposite way. There we go. We don't need ripples because we're not doing it like that. And the outer shadows here, we've got light and we need to make it dark. Quote unquote outer shadows. Oh my god. Let's try like 50% or something like that. Okay, and we've got the outline, which I don't think we need. Actually, okay, maybe we go into the shadows a little bit more. So let's do yeesh. All right, I feel like that looks good. We still do need to change this, I think, because the texture scale we need to bring down a little bit. If I'm usually doing 30 and we quadrupled the size, I think 60 is the way to go. We need to make sure we're on the background layer. All right, and then we'll do some more blending with that in a moment. I was bringing up the wishing well map if I could find the darn thing. Let's do unfurnished, should be fine. Just trying to get a good idea of the shape to make everything. So I figured we're almost making this like a mini golf too. You know, like you've got different kinds of hazards and stuff. So here we've got the hill that we kind of did here, and I've never really been able to greatly match what I was trying to do there, but we're going to try again here. I figure what we'll do is around pretty much the entire center of the pitch, we're going to do like a field like that, or a hill like that. So let's try and see if we can find the grass. Okay, and let's play with it real quick just to see what size we get. I figure we'll leave. That might not be big enough. Let's do. And you know what? I feel like I kept it a little too even. Let's grab the pencil. Oh, it would help if I was on the line. And let's bump it up to 25. Okay, so we're going to do that here. And next thing we need to do is draw a little bit of that's not what I wanted to do. Need to draw another thing. This time we're going to draw with color, and we're just going to make it black, and we're going to mess with the opacity. Let's see, well, that's way too small of a stroke size. Still way too small. the opacity might still be a little bit too much there. So let's go down way far. So this way, well, the problem is, actually it's not too bad. I should be doing this as paint and not lines, and that's probably a dumb thing on my part. So let's do that real quick. Keep the grass line. Let's actually do another foreground layer. Call that the shadow layer, and let's go to color again, and we'll go back down to 10% and get the brush size the size we need it. And let's do just a smidge there, because that's going to represent like the little bit of fall down that we're doing, and then we'll do a couple passes with these sides over here, because that's supposed to be representative of steeper hills. I might bump up the opacity a little bit, because now that we're doing the paintbrush instead of lines, I feel like it's not playing as nice with me what I need it to do. Okay, and now what we're going to do is grab one more layer. The water layer, excuse me, and let's grab texture and let's find some water that we can use, and that 20% opacity is not bad for what we're trying to do here, I don't think. Oh, you know what though? One thing that I did notice, the texture skill needs to come down a little bit. So let's do 45. So we're still going to have that like hill a little bit. Because we're going to have the water at the bottom there. And we'll have it something like right up there is where it stops. Oh, you know what? It can still go a little bit higher. We just won't do as many passes. And maybe we can do like some floating leaves or something like that. Let's see. We've got a severe lack of like plant life on the actual map itself. Let's grab, forgot the object layer. Let's do another object layer over top of the shadow layer, just in case we need to go over. So we'll do object layer 3. Way too big. We'll shrink it down a little bit. You know what? I don't want to have right on the line anyway, so we're going to scooch it there, do that. Let's grab a rock. cast as much of a shadow, so let's come in here. We're going to go into this, and we'll make the intensity a little less noticeable. Shrink it down a little bit too. All right, and we said we were going to try and do like some floating leaves and stuff, so let's go to our brush layer one more time. So we've got some forest leaves, and I'm going to leave the texture scale as is for now. Let's move the opacity up a little bit, and let's just see how this looks. Those leaves are way too big. Down to 60 and see how we like them. That's still too big. Let's do 40. There we go. So do a couple of leaves in here. And we're kind of just like finding out where these are. And then I'm going to erase where I need to. Excuse me. Texture. Again, the problem right now that I have is that I want them to look like they're floating. Erase. So take out a couple here and there. Anything that looks like it's half cooked, or maybe like right on the line, we'll take out too. So that's good. And then let's do we're going to try one more thing. So we're going to do brush layer, underwater, leaves, shadows. So we'll try and see if I can pull this off. So we're still going to use the leaves. I am going to move the offset like 2%. No, it's still too much. Let's do 0.5 and 0.5. Right, and then let's do the color. Let's do brightness down to nothing, and we're going to move the opacity down. Now, that because this is underwater leaves instead of top of water, it should do, in theory, what I want it to. And because the opacity is down so low, it might end up doing what I want as well. So let's see. Yes, perfect. Now you get a couple of extra shadows that you don't need, but for the leaves that we do have, it ends up looking nice. It gives it a little bit of depth. All right, so now let's come back up. We're going to do an erase layer. Oop. And we can bring that back up to 100. Do that. You know what? I'm seeing something that I don't like, and that is this one leaf over here doesn't have a shadow. That one needs one a little bit more. This one down here needs one a little bit more. And this one down here. Okay, cool. One more time, back to erase full opacity, because we need to get rid of like this one right here, for instance. That one there. I think that we're good. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to throw like a lily pad in there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. The lily pad doesn't make complete sense. Let's keep it going though, I guess. Let's go back up to top of water. We're going to go to our textures. We're going to get the regular style one. let's make sure the opacity is all the way up. A couple of leaves here and there, and delete the ones that I don't need. All right, so erase. Okay, we're going to go back to our underwater leaves, go back to our texture, go back to 20%, 25%, go back to the shadow ones. This one has the offset that we need. Do a couple of passes so that we can actually see the shadow. I will save shortly, sir. So that's good. 250 changes is a lot of changes, so let's do a save real quick. And we're at about 22 minutes. I don't think we're going to do the full map for this bonus, but just to give you like a good idea of what we're trying to do here. And let's go to, we're just going to use the underwater leaves to do this next. You know what? I figure since we're already here, let's keep doing it. Let's go back to our lines. We're trying to basically do the same thing here. So we're going to go back to our grass. I'm guessing it was object layer 1. This is just water objects for the other one. So let's do a little bit wider here to start. Make it a little oblong. And that is facing the right way, so that's good. Let's go to our shadow set real quick and go back to our color. And if you add like the extra pass of black here, it's going to represent a steeper hill. So up here, we're fine, but maybe over here, for instance, this is going to be a steeper incline, and then certainly up here, we're going to make it steeper. And let's go back to our water brush, go up here, and let's start it, I guess, right here. And let's go grab some more water objects. Let's grab another 2 of these guys, and we'll make them a little different. Okay, and let's grab the object layer. I think I saw a stone here, so let's grab that, and we'll throw a couple of those underneath the water as well. And we've got to do the leaves one more time. So underwater leaves. Oh, sorry, we want the top of water. So that is this set. Full opacity, because we need to know where we're doing stuff. We're actually going to draw those ones over top of the leaves. One more pass just to make sure that we get everything clean. And then let's go to our erase. And erase anything that doesn't make sense. So let's erase this guy, this guy, this one. I don't want to do the same trick twice. So those ones I'll keep there. Lose that one and that one. Let's lose these guys. Those ones. That guy. This one. Alright, that's good. And then, oop, you tried to sneak in there, sir. Let's go to our underwater leaves, back to our texture, and we're going to go to the black one. Again, this one doesn't have to be full opacity. Maybe we'll do 30 since we went over it a couple times the last time. It should be over top of the water object, so that's good. And this will look better when it's on its individual map too. Right now we're seeing things a little bit low res. Okay, that's good. Got 128 changes now, so let's do another save. Excuse me. Should be done with the pen. So then the next idea is we need to figure out what's going on with the other towers. So I know I want to do kind of like a bunker, like a sand bunker for one of the towers. Maybe we'll put like some spikes outside of one. So let's do, we'll use the underwater leaves because it's still on top of this. Let's do sand. And desert sand is fine. Wait a minute. Interesting. All right, let's change the opacity to like 65. 66 it is. Let's change it one more time because I need the texture scale to be a little bit more representative of how big things are. So 60, maybe we'll do 50. And that way you'll be able to see some of the definition of the sand and everything. We're still going to make it a little bit cleaner over here. So if you're doing like a straight shot, you might have a shot. Let's go out a little bit further too. We'll make it like it's a climb to get up there. Okay, some ugly sand and stuff. Let's do that thing that I was talking about where we have some spikes over here. We have that spiked fence that we usually use. I think it's the orc set. There we go. So let's use these. Stamp scale. Maybe a little too big, so let's change it to 10. The idea being that I do want it to be random though, and no skulls. So maybe we don't do random. My idea being that, like, if you are out here playing TowerSphere, you're doing it because you're trying to, like, get into the game, so you have like a cleric buddy who hopefully you're not doing anything here that's too dangerous without some kind of person over here protecting you. Do something a little different over here. We'll kind of box it in a little bit. All right, let's see. So we got our spiky guy over there. We've got sand. We gotta fix this a little bit. This needs to be darker. So let's go back to, this is the layer mask, so this can be the background. So let's do a new layer. Tower, and let's go to our color scheme. 40% opacity is pretty good, and there you go. So the idea is that the mask is making it so that we're making just the stuff here change, not the above layers. And let's do a little bit darker in the center. That's a little bit too much. Change the opacity to like 15%. We might do 2 passes if we need to. Maybe up against the tower too. I think that makes sense. So it's not like a huge pit or anything like that. You know, it's probably like 2-3 feet or something like that. You could definitely hoist yourself up if you fall. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3 towers that got some kind of cool stuff going on. I'll tell you what, we are at 35 minutes. That's I went an hour yesterday. I don't want to do a full hour again. While this is saving, we'll go to our show closing page. So, folks, on the screen right now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest content out there on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to start. It'll usually lead you to our other projects. We also have 3 premium map sites that you should check out. Patreon.com/Tellest is where you can find all of our maps at one low price. It's a monthly fee that you pay, and you get to see all of our maps in high-res, gridded and gridless versions, variants, things like that. And you also get opportunities for licensing. If you want to use our maps for adventures or anything like that. Tellest.etsy.com is kind of like in limbo right now. We do have physical maps that we put up, but our print partner is not currently able to provide us those, so we are waiting for that to come back, but hopefully that's soon. And then battlemapfantasy.com is where you can go to get all of our maps digitally in kind of like an a la carte form. That's our Drive Through RPG publisher page. So definitely check that out. We've got 2 TikTok channels that you can check out. At Weird Witch Wands is where you can find all of Rihanna's crafty stuff. She just finished today, this weekend, a batch of 20 new wands that we're going to be bringing to Lehigh Valley Comic Con, and hopefully we get another like 20 or 40 between now and then as well. At Tales of Tellest is where you can see our pooches. They're more famous than either of us, so definitely check them out. We've got 2 videos sites that you can check us out at World of Tellest on YouTube is where you're going to be able to find all of our content, no matter how long in the future. And then twitch.tv/thattellestguy is where you can check us out live in every case except for situations like today where we're doing a secret special video for you, because I missed Twitch this past week because I was sick. But that's going to wrap us up for today. You will most likely be seeing this on Patreon earlier than anybody else, and then like 14 weeks in the future this will be available in for the public as well. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. But until then, we'll miss you.